Games Workshop just came out with a ton of new announcements. Firstly, there's a new faction coming. There's also some new models for the old world. And there is a huge product that is coming out for 40k that isn't for you. So these announcements were made at the climax of a narrative event held over in the USA. What this meant was that these announcements were made at like 4 a.m. my time. So I might sound a little groggy here, okay? In fact, this timing kind of screwed me over a little bit, because one of the announcements is for Beastman. Oh boy, Beastman. I collect Beastman. And okay, I'm not one for hype, you know, Debbie down your discourse and all that. But the Beastman reveals literally made me scream, oh my god! I was ready to stick on a Warhammer 40k cap and start a fan podcast. I was excited. And what was it that got me so hyped? Well, I, for a brief moment, for some reason thought that Beastmen were coming to Warhammer 40k. I don't know, I was just half asleep. I think I misread the announcement. It turns out that's what it would take to get me super duper hyped for 40k. But I blinked the sleep from my eyes and no, actually, they're not. It's just a new battle tome for Age of Sigmar and a new Beastlord model. Substantially less exciting, in my opinion. So Beastman, I finally have confirmation from Games Workshop that my chosen army are not going to die, and the hundreds of pounds that I've spent on them rendered moot. So that's good. And the new battle tome, well, we don't really know anything about it. We've just seen the artwork. Artwork is fine. And we've seen the new Beastlord model paired with Man Ripper axes, and it looks actually not that great. It doesn't look that good in my opinion. I actually really like the old Finecast Beastlord model. Not for the Finecast, dear god, but the actual sculpt. I quite liked it. It could be just that I painted him particularly well though. It's like one of the best models I ever painted. The new Beastlord is angry and holding up an axe. Now, where have I seen that before? Yeah, it looks fine. Probably not worth £21, which is likely what it will cost. Next up, we have the new World Eaters. Games Workshop have revealed the models for the 8 bound fellas who've got like 8 demons possessing them. It's pretty metal. I quite like it. The models themselves look fine, kind of what I expected from World Eaters. I'm getting big Doom energies with this one. You can see with the 8 bound Exalted, who are fellas that have managed to master the demon souls inside their body. They're looking pretty demonic, actually. Look pretty demonic. They look okay. They look kind of fine, in my opinion. I like the one fella. He's got a saw for a hand. It's gonna make those lonely nights a lot harder. I guess he's got the other hand. Now, one thing that really interested me here is the cultists for the World Eaters. If you've seen my previous content, you know that I am a big fan of cultists. And the World Eaters cultists look pretty cool. I actually really like the vibe of them. I really dig the face masks that they've all got on. I guess, you know, keeping COVID compliant. The one big issue I have is that these guys look to be very, very monopose. It's continuing on the same issue that the entire Chaos line has for me. Some of the sculpts look really, really beautiful, but they're stuck in these monopose configurations. These guys are cultists. I'm gonna want tons of these dudes. Why are they monopose? They're like the exact wrong model to do that with. These ones should be modular and customizable, but I don't know, it just seems like Games Workshop, they just have this idea that you're gonna take like one Chaos cultist squad and move on with your life. That's not what I'm about, DW. I'm not about moving on with my life, evidently. They also showed off the Juggernaut as well. We've seen this before. It looks fine. It looks cool. It looks kind of neat. I've always really liked the look of Juggernauts.
Oh, believe it or believe it not, I love me Juggernaut.
And we've seen the new Codex art as well. Look, this all looks grand. World Eaters are not like my favorite. Khorne has always been a little bit boring to me, a little bit cliche. And I think that most people agree, actually. That's why Nurgle has risen to become the kind of top dog amongst the Chaos Pantheon. The announcement itself makes reference to the Codex Chaos Space Marines and the Codex Demons. So, oh boy, I guess if you want to play this army, you get the option of buying more books. Which, sure, it's a choice, but you're gonna probably want to buy more books. But these models look good, pretty high fidelity, look fine, if a little monopose. And Games Workshop have also revealed some new Gloomspite Gitz models. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest confirmation we've received that the old world is coming soon. Because for the first time ever, Games Workshop have decided not to go balls to the wall with an Age of Sigmar announcement. No weird little monster creatures here for these goblin boys. We got some wolves for them to ride. And can I be the first to say, yes! No, I get it. Lots of people really love their very, very high fantasy with Age of Sigmar. That's cool. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan. I like not just classic traditional fantasy stuff. Goblins on wolves is actually kind of exciting to me. I kind of like it. These models look good. They look fine. They look like goblin wolf riders, which I think is actually fine sometimes. It's fine for things just to look okay and not wow us. The fidelity of the models is really high. These will go really well in all sorts of different games, but these will obviously fit into the old world perfectly, and I can't help but think that some of the design decisions around these models were made with the old world in mind, and that therefore makes me think that the old world might be around the corner. Some people have been speculating that Warhammer Fest next year is going to have the old world announcement. Personally, I think it's going to be Warhammer 10th. Not sure if I want to bet anything on that though. And yeah, the models look really good. I like this little guy. He's got a little horn. He's tooting my root. It's good. In fact, Games Workshop actually make reference to the classic wolf riders of the world that was. So these models look pretty cool, but personally I'm really excited for the old world coming. And these really feel like the slight opening of a door into that world. Okay, and next up then we have, there's a new House Cawdor reveal. Let's have a look at them now, and oh my god. What the hell are these things? These look really bad. They look really bad in a bad way. Usually the Necromunda models are incredible. Usually they look amazing. But I think that this actually might be some of the worst Necromunda models ever made. They look absolutely trash. And not in a good way either. Cawdor stuff is meant to look like it came from a junkyard. This isn't it, guys. I think this is a big miss. Big miss. Now, the background to these is that the Cawdor are trying to emulate Titans and Sentinels, but I don't think that comes across at all in the design aesthetic. Usually, Cawdor models look a little bit crazed, but these just look goofy. What's funny is the artwork for them looks okay. I think it's the posing of the models. It's this desire for them to look incredibly dynamic. I don't like it. But I guess this is kind of irrelevant because in my local area, once Ashby has come out, it basically killed the game Necromunda and anyone's interest in it. So, you know, turns out that what people wanted in Necromunda wasn't really vehicles. They wanted to play Necromunda. And we have the Arcs of Omen. Okay, so I really was not sure who the Arcs of Omen was for. Ever since its first announcement, I couldn't get my head around like who this product was designed for. And to be honest, it looks like not wargamers. I don't think this is for wargamers. And from what Games Workshop have announced today, it doesn't look like it's for you. It doesn't look like it's for me. It does not look like it's for wargamers. It looks like it's designed to be part of the pipeline to get lore fans of Warhammer 40k into wargaming. This entire product line is for narrative fans. And they've done this basically by setting the game at 500 points. That ostensibly means that it's easy enough to get into. You just need to buy like a combat patrol and like maybe a couple of other boxes of minis. And that is extremely expensive, but it's relatively cheap for Warhammer 40k. Now, I'm not against smaller scale battles. I'm actually a big fan of it. But the big problem that I have with this product is that you're going to require tons and tons and tons of new terrain. I think that Games Workshop are under the impression that this could be subsidized by local clubs. I think people are going to take their small armies and play at like local clubs, local game stores, local Games Workshop stores, and they're going to take those forces and play at those locations. So it's a pretty clever ploy, really, I think. It's going to mean that they get a ton of money from stores and clubs, and also they manage to lure, like a little siren, they lure lots of new players in to their specific retail locations, where they can then do the old classic Games Workshop bludgeon you with upsells. Now, what they have announced at this event is the books. They've announced what the Arcs of Omen is actually going to look like. And apparently it is 4 specific books. 4 books, and they have all been named after characters. We have Abaddon, we got Angron, we got Vashtorr. More on him later. And then a 4th one that is redacted. So I guess that last book is gonna be called Gary or something. And this sucks. I'm really not a fan of this. So firstly, I play Dark Eldar. I play Gene Stealer cults. This book about Abaddon, this book about Angron, like, what does this matter to me? Why do I care about this? And this once again continues the Power Rangers style of storytelling that Games Workshop are currently insistent upon, that has defined this era of Games Workshop storytelling. It used to be that Warhammer 40k was about locations, it was about places, it was about great events. Now, everything seems to be focused on the same 12 characters that are in Gulliman's living room. Genuinely, it feels like we're in an episode of Smallville over here. The books are all framed around individuals. And what this does is it makes the universe feel small as a result. And look, here's the thing. I don't care about any of these characters, really. I have my own characters that I have made for my armies. I have named my own captains. I've named my own leaders. I have customized my own army. To me, that is the essence of narrative play. I want to create my own stories in a context. I don't want to recreate that one time that Angron got stuck in the bathroom. But ultimately, like I said, this product isn't for me. It's probably not for you. This is designed to hook in like the 50% of people who know about Warhammer 40k who have never bought a single model. This is not for wargamers. This is for Warhammer hobbyists, TM. Not being mean, like I kind of like that. I like the idea that they're trying to get people in from the lore side of things into the actual wargaming. That's good in my opinion. I just kind of resent that it's being done in this way. And here's another pretty gnarly aspect to all of this. So they've released a roadmap for these books. And it looks like there's about 4 books being spread out across 6 months or so. You can see it says winter to spring. There is no time at all to get these books out in. You have Abaddon, I'm guessing that's coming out in like December. Then Angron, I'm guessing like January. Maybe Vashtorr in like March. And then Gary coming out in like April. Like, I thought that one book every 6 months was bad. This is insane. And this is just another nail in the coffin for this idea for me. Obviously, it's just designed to sell books. They're just trying to sell books here more than anything. If you buy a combat patrol off the back of it, then huzzah! Job's a good one, boss. So I'm gonna continue to follow this. I'm really kind of nervous about all of this. Like, Goblin Wolf Riders weren't the only thing they showed off. There was also a reveal for the Gnarlwood Underworld expansions, coming with some Gloomspite Gitz models there too. Some little Bad Moon Gobbos. I really like the look of these. I think they're really cool. They've really got that mushroom goblin energy. I'm a big fan. I actually really like the Bad Moon stuff. So I think they're one of the more imaginative, folklore-y, spooky kind of Age of Sigmar armies. I'm a really big fan of what Games Workshop have done with these models, and I think they look really cool. There's nothing else to really report. Although I did come very close to buying into Underworld the other day, so you know, keep an eye out for that. Help me out. Send me messages of strength, please, to resist. I love card games. I love miniature games. And finally, we have perhaps the biggest announcement for Warhammer 40k in a really long time, in my opinion. This is Vashtorr. Okay, so I said at the beginning of this video that this is the announcement of a new faction. And to be honest, in my opinion, this is. So all Games Workshop have revealed so far is this single named character, Vashtorr, and you can see him here. He looks absolutely wild. Wild is the only way I can describe it. I really kind of, there's tons of stuff I love about this model. This guy's face really cracks me up. It's like he's opened the door and he's found his mother with the milkman or something. I really dig it. I think this looks excellent. Now, here's the deal, okay? I am almost 100% certain that this is the prelude to a Dark Mechanicum faction. I'm like almost 100% on this. He is from the Dark Mechanicum. The actual article about him hints at the Dark Mechanicum. It says that they're a big fan of this guy. Yeah, he is a named character. He's basically a Forge Master. And apparently it's him that's behind the whole Arcs of Omen attack thing that the Chaos are up to. The model itself is really beautiful. It continues in that tradition of Games Workshop having massive centerpiece models, and that's where they really love to flex their chops. He's got a little wimpy little hammer there. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I like the big blades on his back. I like the face, the expression there. Yeah, it looks great. It looks really good. It's a little bit over-designed, but that's kind of fine. I think that's kind of Chaos's thing. But a word of caution here. If this guy is the beginning of the design direction that we're going to see for the Dark Mechanicum, I think Games Workshop need to be careful. I think that they will blend too much into the Chaos forces. Honestly, because this looks like a Chaos miniature. So I think this is just something they're going to need to be wary about. But it looks good. As always, I wince at the price tag. And that is everything the Games Workshop have revealed for the Warhammer Hobby TM. Yes, that's right, I have embraced the Warhammer Hobbyist label. And you should too, and if you want to know why, check it out here. And as always, a huge thanks to my patrons, especially Sonic Bread, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye!